What if these anime heroes were to go to jail for their crimes? Let's take Goku as an example. This guy who neglects his child leaves him with a literal green devil. I mean, he actually calls himself the Demon King. Anyway, this kid is thrown into fighting grown men on Namek, and then he watches his son get a beatdown from Cell without even intervening. And let's not forget the fact that this man has a body count. Sure, someone might argue it's self-defense, but when you're racking up bodies left and right, you start looking more like a lucky serial killer. The point is, this guy belongs behind bars, but let's be real, he'd still be a troublemaker, picking fights in jail. Now Sasuke's emo self.
But he redeemed himself and refused to have his arm healed as retribution for his sins.
Fair point. But if this guy wasn't the Osama bin Laden of the ninja world, I don't know who is. He straight up assassinated a whole leader of a country and then has the audacity to talk about redemption. That's like me sniping Biden and expecting everything to be cool because I fought in World War III. Not to mention the desertion of his country and his little hobby of attempting world domination with giant chakra pets. If it weren't for Naruto, we'd be dealing with an emo dictator. But let's be clear, Sasuke better watch out in prison, especially when it comes to dropping the soap. Now, for Luffy, let's face it, he's a full-fledged pirate. I'm not talking about bootleg DVDs, I mean kidnapping, stealing, and murder. Sure, some might argue he targets corrupt governments, but committing crimes against any government lands you in jail. Plus, the entire crew has bounties on their heads. And this guy thinks he's in the Wild West, and I bet prison can't even contain the Straw Hats. Zoro alone would probably wander off, and Luffy would start a prison riot on day one. Yummy Yugi was snatching souls and sending them to the Shadow Realm over card games. Imagine what he'd do for more significant matters. Keep him away from the general population, put him in solitary confinement, and definitely keep him away from cards. You know what, never mind. Keep that man out of prison. It's like sending a rabbit to a carrot field for punishment. The only thing suffering would be the carrots. Yujiro would have a new every day. Keep that man out of jail.